Thank you, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you share while you join. Today we want to talk about the Russian endorsement of Ambazonia, in the United Nations. So we are very proud of Russia. We are very proud of all those countries that have stood with the people of Ambazonia along the years. And we are saying thank you to Russia, thank you to the United States, thank you to Canada, thank you to Switzerland, thank you to all those countries that have shown concern and have taken this our matter to the United Nations. We are very grateful, and we are Ambazonians, and we are happy that countries have understood that this issue cannot be resolved without a serious going back to the history. Because for the past 9 years, the war between Ambazonian and the government of Cameroon has dragged on with no clear resolution in sight. So we are saying that for the thousands of our people that have been killed, millions that have been displaced, and the entire community that have been destroyed in Ambazonia for the past 9 years, yet the silence of the international community was so alarming and so deafening. France, Cameroon's long ally and protector, has consistently shielded the President Paul Biya and their government from international scrutiny. Remember when they took the Cameroon government to the United Nations Human Rights, and they were condemned of all the atrocities, but yet the United Nations and the United States have limited themselves to humanitarian statements without real pressure on the Biya regime. And along these years, there were a lot of controversy of what the role Russia, China can play, because these are people these are countries, they call them veto powers. Okay, they have veto powers in the United Nations Security Council. Those 5 countries, anything that they say must always come to pass. Okay, because they have the veto power. Now, as Russia has given their support to the Ambazonian people, it's a good thing. It's a good move, and we are very grateful, because it tells the world that the Ambazonian people have support. The Ambazonian people have someone they can lay their trust, okay, during the negotiation process, that we hope and we believe will come to pass as the war rages on. Okay, we are hoping that the negotiation process will bring all the stakeholders together, making sure that the Biya regime answers to their so that they can tell the world why they are silent and rejecting negotiation processes that the international community has suggested. So we are looking at that, and we want to know what's going on within these communities. And the people of Amazonia have their own right to say enough is enough. Okay, enough is enough. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll go to my talking point, and we are going to understand some key points. First, on the elections in Cameroon and how the Biya regime is using elections to make sure the international community does not understand what is going on in Cameroon, in Ambazonia. Okay. The so-called presidential elections of colonial Cameroon have no place in the land of Ambazonia. For 9 years, we have endured the horrors of war, genocide, massacre, and burning of over 1,200 of our villages. More than 70,000 of our children, women, and grandparents have been slaughtered by the very regime that now seeks to return dressed in the false robes of democracy to impose their illegitimate election on our soil. We say to them today, enough is enough. The same Paulbiya, his CPGM machinery, and their accomplices, Kamto, Ozi, Muna, and other opportunists who refuse an internationally supervised settlement to end this conflict in Ambazonia, now want to parade themselves as saviors of our people through elections. They ignored the cries of widows. They ignored the plight of refugees. They ignored the blood of the innocent. Yet they have the time, resources, and energy to campaign for power. These elections are not designed to heal our wounds. They are a scheme to erase the truth of genocide and whitewash crimes against humanity. Fellow citizens, our position is clear. Any person or group found sponsoring or organizing or coordinating or participating in Cameroon's colonial election within Ambazonia territory will be seen as betraying the blood of our martyrs. Such actions dishonor the suffering of our people and attempt to normalize the occupation. Justice will be natural and firm, for no community that has endured such atrocities can allow the killers to return with ballot after they have ruled with bullets. To our brave heroes, our restoration forces, the message is clear and resolute. You have been given firm instructions to safeguard our land from the desecration of colonial elections. That is what we know. This is not a time for fear nor for compromise with injustice. The sacrifices of our fallen heroes demand that we remain steadfast, disciplined, and united. The protection of Ambazonian dignity is not negotiable. In conclusion, my people, let us remember that we are not opposing democracy, but rather rejecting colonial manipulation, masquerading as democracy. True freedom will come, not through fraudulent elections imposed by our oppressors, but rather negotiations that acknowledge our sovereignty, through justice that honors our dead, and through unity that strengthens our struggle. Let every village, every town, and every community rise together in one voice. No colonial election in Ambazonia. Our destiny is ours to shape, and we will not allow our oppressors to write it for us. Thank you for listening. That was one of my talking points on the election that the Ambazonian people reject that La Republic is trying to masquerade in our land. Okay, yes. Now, the election, we have been talking much about that. I don't want to talk about election anymore because we have seen the Cameroon government machinations and their evil plan to make sure that they bring in their all what they can to fool our people to go in for that election. Okay, we are not ready to go in for any election. Our people have been made to suffer a lot. So anything in Ambazonia called election is just a charade. Okay, we will not buy to that. We will not do anything that is against our people's wish. Okay, we will be very grateful for you people to follow that same policy within that electoral process. Okay, now let me go to the next talking point. The most important for today is this one, that the Russian support for Ambazonia is a good turning point for the people of Ambazonia. Okay, this is a new dawn for Ambazonia. Okay, in the past we have seen other countries support Ambazonia. Okay, in the past we have seen other countries support Ambazonia, but today it's a different ball game. Okay, we are very grateful with Russia. We want to make everybody understand that Russia is coming this time because they have observed for the past years, okay, what La Republic is doing to our people. So this is a very important turning point for the people of Southern Cameroon to support this particular struggle. Okay, those people who thought that no country is supporting Ambazonia, or no country, any struggle for independence, struggle for sovereignty, struggle for your right, it's not in one day. It takes time. We have been preaching that the people of Ambazonian, we have a journeying struggle. We have a journeying course. Okay, our case is already at the United Nations. So it's not something that people are fighting or struggling for something that is not there. We had a government. We had our people were already governed, self-governing. Okay, and now we come and see an occupier in our land. So it's not something that we have to talk about. Okay, that is the point. Okay, my talking point for the Russian support for Ambazonia. Our struggle for freedom has met with silence and betrayal from the so-called international community. France has shielded Cameroon's regime from accountability, while the United Nations and the United States have limited themselves to empty humanitarian statements. The result has been massacre, burn village, displaced millions, and thousands have lost their lives, all while the world turned away. The Ambazonian struggle has been termed the most neglected in the world. But today, we witness a shift. Russia, a global power, has spoken on our struggle. For the first time in this painful war, Ambazonia is no longer invincible on the international stage. Russia's interest is not purely charity. Moscow is advancing its influence in Africa, challenging France's dominance and seeking allies where the West has failed. Yet, for us, this intervention is symbolically powerful. It tells the world that Ambazonia is not a band of terrorists, but a people with a legitimate historical and political grievance. Yes, Ambazonia is not just a name, it has a deep-rooted historical grievance. If Russia takes this to the United Nations, it will break through the wall of silence that Paris and Yaoundé have built around our cause, whether driven by strategy or justice. This moment gives our people recognition they have long been denied. The reaction among our people shows just how much this means. Across the diaspora and grassroots, voices of hope have risen, some calling President Putin God sent, others declaring that our time has come. Yet, let us also be wise. Hope without strategy is dangerous. Russia may use this as a leverage against France or reduce its support to rhetoric only. Our duty is to turn this symbolic breakthrough into tangible progress, diplomatic recognition, mediation for genuine negotiation, and stronger institution for our nation, Ambazonia. We cannot afford to waste this moment in disunity or hesitation. We also know that Cameroon and France will fight back. Yes, Cameroon and Cameroon and France will fight back. Yaoundé will continue its propaganda, painting us as terrorists, and France will double its grip on our land, offering Moscow concessions to weaken its support for us. They will exploit division among us, offer fake dialogues, and try to delay until we are too exhausted to resist. But Amazonia has endured 9 years of fire and blood. We must not allow their games to succeed. We must be more united, more disciplined, and more determined than ever. Russia's entry is a turning point, but whether it becomes a new dawn or a false one depends on us. No foreign power will liberate us if we do not liberate ourselves. Russia's support gives us leverage, but only Ambazonian unity and resolve can transform leverage into freedom. Let us rise with clear vision, reject division, and tell the world once more, Ambazonia shall be free. Thank you. That was my talking point there. That was my talking point. Thank you. We are saying this because we have seen a lot of jubilation. We have seen a lot of talk out there about the Russian entry into the, it might be strategic. People don't know. Why is Russia's interest in Ambazonia? Is it humanitarian or what? That is what we have to understand. Because when country comes to support you, they are not coming just to support. They'll come for some form of leverage, okay? And the best part is that Russia is not just a country, okay? If any country can recognize Ambazonia, but Russia is one of the veto powers, okay? Veto powers of the United Nations, and for US, China, Britain, France, and Russia are those people who has veto powers. Those 5 countries. And if Russia brings it to the United Nations Security Council, I don't see. It's only France that can deny. It's only France that can refuse, and France is only one vote. Russia, China will definitely support. UK, the United Kingdom will definitely support. So France, Russia, China, okay, and America, the United States, will be on our side. So France will be on its own, because the America does not want to be the person that is pushing towards this peace process, because they are allied with France, no doubt, But at some point, you see what America has been doing to the people of Ambazonia. So many progress has been made along the years. You think that giving the people of Ambazonia TPS, is it something that is just easy? First of all, granting asylum to our people, then later granting TPS to our people, and just like that, making statement from the Senate, the US Senate, passing even resolutions that condemn the Cameroon government for what the atrocities that have been happening. So a lot of we are trying to know what kind of leverage or the power that Russia is trying to do, but the reaction is very different. Our people have really endured for the past 9 years, and today we see this coming. Imagine how many years some countries that fought for their independence before they were even recognized, like Somaliland has started fighting Somalia since 1991. It was just last year or last 2 years that the United States said something about them. So this is not something that every country will just come and say, oh, we support Ambazonia, we want a negotiation process. No. Countries will come, different countries will come, but we have to embrace the little progress. Okay, the little progress that is being made. No matter what, our people are making progress. Okay, the only progress that you can say you don't make is when you don't move one step ahead. But if you move a step, know that you are making progress. And I'm very grateful with our people for the patience, the restoration fighters, for their wonderful work. I mean, there is no word that can explain what these guys have been doing for the struggle. I mean, think of it, 9 years fighting from the bush, but yet they never back down, right? They never back down. They are there still pushing, 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 pushing. No one is backing down. Yet, we still say thank you to the wonderful people of what they are doing. Yeah, you cannot understand. Take a listen to one of our brother who really said this clean and clear to them. Say thank you, the restoration fighters. We cannot thank you enough.
Amba boys, I'm proud of you for what you have done for your population. You don't even know. You are the heroes of our life. You are the people who can make us be proud when we are talking outside. Can a Frenchman stand in front of me and talk nonsense? He can never do that. It's impossible. It's impossible. Because the pride you have given for an English man in that country is big enough. They don't even want to recognize it. They don't even want to recognize it. They are pretending like if they don't even know what your people are doing, but you are making us proud. And today we are proud of you. You have given your life, your blood, your flesh for that particular land. We need to respect you, and I will ever live to respect you. I will never blink. I will always be there for you. I will always be there to talk about you, no matter what it takes, no matter what it takes for my life. You have been sacrificing enough. So, if I can always support you, it will not be enough for me. That is why we call to all the children of Ambazonia, left or right. If you are everywhere, every part in this country, contribute in your various countries. Contribute. Give everything you have to give. Let those boys fight. Because we can't stay with this type of people. We can't stay with people who are just...
Yeah. You've heard. That is one of Ambazonian top activists and musicians telling the Ambazonian fighters, the liberators, that we can't thank you guys enough. Because, you know, people, when this struggle started, you know, nobody was an expert. That's why when we see people blaming today, blaming this person, nobody started this struggle like an expert in any liberation struggle. The NCNC guys that started before, those guys that started with NCNC, they never had any idea about using force. So they had what they call the argument of force. They were arguing against using force. Okay, they were talking about the force of argument. But today, when La Republique declared the war, what do? You had to fight back, and that is what the people of Southern Cameroon did. And for 9 years, we have seen progress. But if countries like Eritrea, 3 million people, countries like those countries that are not even up to 2 million people, could still win their own independence, we of 8 million plus 10 million, we are about 10 million Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians. We are saying that, oh, we are tired, oh, with this, with that. We cannot follow the advice of few people who are enjoying fat in Yaoundé, the elites. Those people don't even make even 1.1% of our population. They don't. They are just in Yaoundé, they enjoying themselves. Then they come, they say they are elites. They are they are parliamentarians. They are this, they are that. They are chiefs. They are funds. They go there and they give them their own packets. I made a statement last time about chiefs. If you go to some of my videos, or you know, you see how I was very bitter about the chiefs. Then the House of Chiefs that used to be one, La Republique come and divide it and say Norway's House of Chief, Southwest House of Chief. Our House of Chief were not divided. There were one in Boya, one House of Chief in Boya. Today they came and divided so that now you heard the Norway's House of Chief went to visit Paulbiya. I don't even want to talk about election again in that country because that one doesn't concern us. Because you cannot be going and giving motion of support to somebody that is even dead, that you don't even see. How dull are you people? You can't give emotional support to people that are not even alive. Then you see Ngongo sitting. You cannot even ask him that where is Paulbiya? Man, take a listen to one of our chief who has stood tooth and nail since the beginning of this struggle. He always speak to the truth to all the chiefs, what the chiefs are doing. Take a listen to him.
Fellow Ambazonians, good morning. Today is the 14th of August 2025. Fellow Ambazonians, let me your ears. I am here to rebuke our traditional rulers who have misused our tradition for political purposes. Fellow Ambazonians, every tribe, every ethnic group has its own tradition, but we all have a universal sign that shows that a paramount chief is arriving at a particular place. If our paramount chiefs should dare now misuse all those traditional rights for political purposes, then it is a curse, it is a shame, it is a disgrace to whatever race, to whatever culture, to whatever tradition, or to whatever people such a person is represented. Fellow Ambazonians, in our African tradition, we know that if a paramount chief is about to arrive at a particular place, the first sign that shows is the sound of the gong. If you hear the sound of the gong, you know that a paramount chief is arriving. Then, if the paramount chiefs should now decide to put the gong inside a bag and arrive at a place and take the gong out and play it by themselves, then what a shame, what a mockery, what a violation of our tradition. I was so amazed, dumbfounded, confused to see that a traditional ruler picks a traditional gong and plays it to somebody who is not even a traditional ruler. However, remember that what you plant is what you are going to sow. What you sow is what you are going to harvest. Our traditional rulers have become so selfish that they tend to ignore our tradition. Before going into that unity palace, was there even one in Chinda behind them who was to dress their seat for them to sit down? How then do you yourself turn to play a gong to somebody who is not even a traditional ruler? However, those gongs are made from where I come from. They speak, they react, and they follow whatever way that you want to use them. When you use the wrong instrument in playing that gong, you have the wrong results. That's the more reason you couldn't even hear the sound of that gong. In Bangwa, where that thing was originated, where it came from, we say, Lichere, Egunwe. Maybe translating this to English, say that it muted. The sound didn't come out because it was used in a wrong occasion. I am therefore appealing to our paramount chiefs. What about the blood of our little martyr? What about the blood of Field Marshal the King? What about the blood of Isubu? What about those other children who are missing that we don't even know them? What about our villages which have been burned to ashes? Were you not the very ones that gave this government the land? Did this government not only arrive 1961 and 60? Before the government arrives here, were you not there? How do you now become beggars? Remember, what you are planting is what you are going to harvest tomorrow. When did our paramount chiefs, when did your father ever go to Yaoundé? If he went to Yaoundé, how did he come back? Remember, what you are planting is what you are going to harvest tomorrow.
Wow. That.
When did our paramount chiefs, when did your father ever go to Yaoundé?
I can listen to what the chief is saying, and it's very powerful, It's very powerful. But think of it. Ambazonia has gained a huge support across the world. But our own chiefs, people who are custodians of the community, custodians of the people, they will go and be begging for crumbs. They will go and be, they'll ask them to go and march, they go and march. They'll ask them to go and they'll go and do. But look at the treatment of some of our chiefs. Sometimes we want to give respect to them, but they don't respect themselves. Look at how they treated Inoni, former prime minister. He was locked up. They used chiefs as toys, political toys. No respect. But that dignity, you see, they have, the fact that they pay them, we understand that the chief needs to be paid. First class, third class, fourth class chiefs. But that doesn't guarantee you to say you're right for La Republic government. Your community has the power. Aijo was trying to do that to Fongaliga and the other phone. That phone say phone don't leave their palace. Aijo left Yaoundé, came right to Bamenda to that phone's palace. These are our own local phones now. They just call them in Yaoundé, they just rush like as if they were waiting for phone call. They are going, then they created a house of chiefs when there's no function there. When I think of the house of chief back then, the house of chief was very powerful. The house of chief was a second in command, second house. The second level, when you get, the first level was the parliamentarians. The second level was the house of chief. The first was the house of common. The second was the house of chief. They make decisions. They were lawmakers. They were not just people who go to Yaoundé and come back and they don't even know where they went to do Yaoundé. Going to give motion of support to somebody that is not even alive, that they are not even seen. What did they take there and what did they bring back to their people? Because when you go to that kind of mission, you have to ask your community, hey, we are going to Yaoundé to talk with the president, right? Okay, let's say, okay, we are going to Yaoundé. But what do you bring back? And what do you take there? Some of them cannot even walk freely in their own land. No roads, no infrastructures, no jobs for their children, nothing. Their community is shattered. But when they call them in Yaoundé, they are running. They sold their birthright already. They sold their community. Because when you give right to somebody to come in, that person coming, and you go and offer other people, somebody who is not doing anything to your community, you go and be giving them titles. You give them all titles. That's how it is now. But this thing that Russia have done to Ambazonian people is an eye opener to other countries. Those countries who France has sidelined, France has gone and food, and they don't want to support Ambazonia. Today it's a different story. The people of Ambazonia are very enthusiastic. They are very happy for the support that Russia has given to them. We want to thank America. We want to thank Switzerland. We want to thank Canada. All those countries that had tried to come to negotiate, but the Cameroon government rejected negotiation process. They said they can use their military to crush the people of Ambazonia. But this is 9 years on. They have not even done anything. The people of Ambazonia stand tall. That's what I want to say. There's this guy who let me play this guy. It's a guy who said much about that too. I want you to listen to him. He made a lot of comments about the latest Russian endorsement. Take a listen to him.
So Russia has taken a bold stand at the United Nations, backing Ambazonia's struggle against Cameroon. But what does this mean for Africa's fight against neocolonialism? As the conflict between Cameroon and Ambazonia deepens, Russia has declared that the issue is rooted in history and can only be resolved through negotiations, not force. Pan-African leader Professor P.L.O. Lumumba has added his voice, warning that Africa cannot claim full decolonization if it ignores Ambazonia's fight. According to him, the British are using France and Cameroon as proxies to keep the oil-rich region under control. Supporting Ambazonia, he says, is the key to freeing Cameroon from France domination. This is not just about Ambazonia, it's about Africa's larger struggle. From Mali to Burkina Faso to Niger and now Ambazonia, the same imperialist playbook is at work. Divide, exploit, and control. But history shows that when Africa unites, empires fall. Do you believe that Ambazonia's liberation could spark a wider wave of decolonization across Africa? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let's have this conversation.
Wow, that was powerful, right? You see, if someone like L.A. Lumumba, you remember L.A. Lumumba gave about 10 points to Ambazonians to follow, but he's a Pan-Africanist, so he mentioned about that again when Russia made that statement of they have to go to the root causes of the Ambazonian problem, and he said, if for Africa to be free, we have to go back to the root causes of the decolonization process. Okay, the incomplete decolonization has been the cause of major countries not really getting up to task economically, politically, and culturally in their countries. The various African countries are still dependent on their former colonial powers, especially the former French colonies. From their currency to their military to their education, everything is tied to France. Now, for us that never had any French colonial past, they are trying to impose on us those French policies and French, everything French. We were not colonized by France in the first place. Just imagine somebody in Kenya, somebody in South Africa, or somebody in Nigeria is forced to learn French, is forced to do French things. Come on. Even in Canada, the English majority does not impose their English majority English to the Quebec, which is a French area. They don't, because they know that area was colonized by France. It's a French area. They have the culture. You cannot impose people what they don't understand or what they don't want in the first place. So it's a matter of imposition of new thing and you want us to, and it's the same policy France used in all these colonies. In this 21st century, you are still trying to neo-colonize Ambazonia, southern Cameroon, when We had no past, no French historical past, nothing. Now you bring those things to come and impose on us. Our institutions, our culture, our language, our way of life, it has nothing to do with France. Our currency, we had our own currency, the British pound where we used to use, yes, back then. Our institution and constitution was English. So anything that La Republic is doing now is just what they call neo-colonization. They call it black on black colonization. And that is what we are trying to condemn today. Every country must respect their boundaries at independence. Every country. You have no right to go and occupy another country and impose your culture on them at this century. And they have condemned you time and again. Countries have come, asked you to go to negotiation. You refuse. You say you're going to use your military. Thousands of our people have been killed. Hundreds, thousands have been displaced. But you keep putting your military in our land. Even other countries had their own choice to make. Many countries today still have choices to decide if they want to belong or not. Nobody imposed on Quebec. If Quebec want to be a country today, Quebec will be a country because they will just go for referendum. They have had several referendums in Quebec to say, hey, do you want to remain part of Canada? Quebec, they have voted so many times. The same thing, Barcelona in Spain. They decide through vote. Spain government did not come and fight war Barcelona. No, Barcelona is a part of it's an autonomous area too. But they go for referendum and vote if they want to join Spain, whole Spain as a whole. And they go for peaceful referendums. Ireland, Northern Ireland and all those other countries, Scotland, still go for referendum if they want to be part of United Kingdom. So it's not new. So why is it that for Ambazonia, when in 1972 we went for a referendum, right? They were asking us, do you want to join La Republic or you want to join Nigeria? We voted. Today, no, they don't want us to vote. They say you must belong here. That is what is going on in Cameroon, between Cameroon and Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia. But we are very grateful with the Russian government coming today to say this has to end on the negotiation table. La Republic has looked for all means to sabotage all the negotiation processes. All. Canadian government, Switzerland government came, all this other government came. American government passed their resolutions at the Senate. They passed resolution in the House condemning Cameroon. The United Nations, Amnesty International, all these international organizations have condemned the government of Cameroon. American government went as far as even giving visa ban to most officials of Cameroon. Most government officials of Cameroon has visa ban on them. They cannot come to America because of this war that they declared on the people of Southern Cameroon. So there's a lot going on that people don't know. People are just overtaken by the propaganda that Cameroon government is doing. Okay, but the people of Ambazonia have proven beyond reasonable doubt that they know their human rights. They know their rights. They are not gonna bow down for any Jack and G who come and tell them, oh, you have to stay with this. No, this is 9 years. And if you know your right, you understand that human right to defend a right is a human right. Cameroon don't allow those rights. You say something, they'll carry you, go and lock you. You want to protest, they'll carry you, go lock you. You want to do this, they'll lock you. So what right do you have? I just feel pity for the people of Cameroon, because you see a government imposing on you one leader for 42 years, and you still stand and be watching it like that. Then you want Ambazonia to come and fight for you for almost 9 years. La Republic people have not even protest once that government of Cameroon go to negotiation with the people of Ambazonia. No one time. But this time around, I want to see what they'll do in their own election there. Let me see how courageous they are. Because what goes around comes around. They have not said anything, the people of La Republic du Cameroon. They are watching their government killing our people, harassing our people, massacring our people for all these 9 years. They have not said anything. Now they want us to come and support them to fight. No. Our people will not lose their life when you people did not sacrifice for us. We were watching on you people for the past 9 years. We have been watching on you people. You were silent. But today it's your turn. You have to fight for your right. Ambazonians will not come and fight for you. Our people have lost their lives. Our people have been displaced. Talk about those that are still in prison. Seseko Ayok, all the Nera 10, they are still in prison just for their human rights. You people are silent. Let's see what you do in your election. But Ambazonia will not come and fight that kind of election, because you people enable that government to declare war on Ambazonia, and you said nothing. You were very excited. Oh, les Ambazoniens, les terroristes, les Amba boys, les Amba this, les Amba. Oui, nous sommes les Ambazoniens, Southern Cameroon. But we are fighting for a land that was granted independence by the United Nations. Ambazonia did not come from anywhere, or Southern Cameroon did not come from anywhere. It was a land that was granted independence 1st of October 1961. That's why we are proud of the land. So you have to fight for your land. Ambazonia was not part of Cameroon when you had your independence. No. So it's time for you to fight for your land. You had your independence 1st of January 1960. You have to fight for your land. Ambazonian people have been fighting for their land, and they keep fighting. They continue fighting, because what belongs to you is what belongs to you. Don't allow anybody to come and take what belongs to you and impose on you all their kind. No. That will not happen. That will not happen. We have seen all that for the past 9 years, but not this time around. That we know what belongs to the people of Southern Cameroon. We know what belongs to the people. Yes, the people of Southern Cameroon have been tooth and nail making sure that they fight for what belongs to them. So La Republic government is their own time. It's their own time to make sure that they fight what they can fight. Okay? But this is what a ban on the communique. This is the first communique that was sent by the interim government banning the election in Ambazonia. Okay? It is very clear, very, very clear. If you can read it, it stated very clearly that the Ambazonian people will not take part in any election. Okay, Ambazonian people are not part and parcel of that election. Okay, yes, and anything that goes with that, has nothing to do with us. Okay, very, very clear. And the other communique was also saying, that's it, that no election in Ambazonia will be allowed. Okay, we are not part and parcel of them. They have to fight for their own struggle. They have to fight. This other communique is what was sent by all the leaders. You see the signatures. All the leaders signed this one. This one is a general final communique from all the leaders. They are making clear that they are not part of La Republique election. So any election that La Republique is organizing in Ambazonia is now recognized. All the leaders signed this one. You see, Elvis Kometa, Yerima, Iya Marianta, all Ebenezer Akwanga, all Chris Ano. This is signed by everybody. Okay, so that is what we are talking about. If anybody recognizing anything, you have to make sure that you look up to something. Okay, yeah, we are very grateful that the people of Southern Cameroon know what they want. They are very, very enthusiastic. They know what they want, and they will not back down for anything. Okay, that's it. And the communique that also confirm what we are talking about is the one that the Russian government just sent the communique. Okay, and it is very clear that the Russian government is very concerned about what's happening in Ambazonia. Okay, this is Russia at the United Nations. Okay, we closely follow the development in Cameroon. The issue of the Anglophone provinces didn't arise yesterday. It has deep historical roots. Okay, a solution can be found only at the negotiation table while observing human rights and ensuring the rule of law. Okay, this is all what they're talking about. Okay, and we are looking at a lot of things going on. Okay, we know a lot of things will happen within this same framework. Okay, a lot of other things will happen, but it is very clear that many countries are now coming in to say, hey, enough is enough. And that's what we want. That's what we are very grateful with Russia. We're grateful with other countries, the United States, grateful with Canada and Switzerland, those countries that have come in to help the negotiation process or to mediate in the process. Okay, thank you. Make sure you share. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll be coming on. Okay, make sure you hit that button as you watch. Okay, thank you for watching. Stay tuned and remain strong. Thank you.